This episode is sponsored by Osborne Wood Products and General Finishes. We had a camera malfunction, so this episode will be a quick overview of my dining table base. I'll provide a link in the show notes to Marc Spagnuolo's table build, so you have a general idea of how I constructed mine. All right, welcome to another episode of Countryside Workshop. Today we're going to be discussing how I built this table base. We had some camera malfunctions, so I won't be able to actually go through a build project, but we'll kind of talk about how it's joined and some of the design aspects. And you may be thinking it looks familiar, and that's because it is. It is my rendition of Marc Spagnuolo's The Wood Whisperer's Not So Rustic Table. I decided to use a little bit different materials, a little bit different heights, to kind of get the look and feel that I wanted for my house. On the legs, we're going a little taller, and I'm using soft maple. And then on all the aprons, we're using just plain 2x4 kiln dried pine. My wife's wanting to go with a milk paint distressed finish on the bottom, so I didn't feel a need to use an expensive hardwood when I have little kids running around the house. I got a 5-year-old. Then my daughter, in a few years, will be beating up on it. So it's more of a test subject right now. We'll get it in the house once it's painted, and we'll see how long it lasts. Like I said, so we have all the construction, all the joinery done using dowel joints, and I'm using the Jessom doweling jig. You can use a cheap doweling jig from Rockler. You could do traditional mortise and tenons. You could do pocket holes. I had this doweling jig in the shop, so I chose to use that, and it has worked out wonderfully. It's 1/2-inch dowels. I have 3 dowels in each one of these joints, so all these have 3. I got half laps on the stretchers and half laps on the supports right here. When the project's completed, we're going to have a 3/4 inch top. The 3/4 inch top is going to help kind of add more weight to the bottom and less weight off the top of the table. And I chose to go with a little bit cheaper wood on the bottom, again, for the fact that it's going to be painted. And budgetary reasons. I wanted to be able to afford a little more expensive wood for the top. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera in close. I'm going to show you some of the joints, and then we'll move on. We'll end this, and we'll start the build process on the top. Here you're seeing how the apron is connected to the legs. They're connected by 3 dowels, 1/2 inch by 3 inches long. You're seeing a 1/2 inch reveal from the apron to the leg. Now you're looking at the half laps on the long supports. Half laps are on the top and the bottom of both supports. Here's a quick look at the Jessom doweling jig that I use for this table build. You can use any doweling jig you prefer, or you can use traditional mortise and tenon, or you can use pocket holes, whatever joint you prefer. Alright, as you can see, there's several different sleeves. It comes with 3 different sets of guide bushings. You got an indexing pin, and if you turn this knob, you can adjust about how deep you want the or the distance you want the hole to be away from the edge of your workpiece. Alright, and if this drill bit right here looks familiar, it's because it looks almost identical to the pocket hole drill bit. It has a stop collar on it. And here's the dowels that I chose to use. These are fluted. You can buy spiral dowels, you can buy solid dowels. I prefer a fluted or a spiral because it gives more glue surface. Our finish of choice is going to be a distressed base with this General Finishes antique white. And then after that, we're going to put a top coat on it, and the top coat is going to be this General Finishes high performance water-based poly.